What's good, YouTube? Tank Davis knocking out Frank Martin in the eighth round, like you predicted, shocking a lot of people. Not that many. Most people would have thought he would have knocked him out, but Frank was a live underdog, had a lot of supporting fans for him. I thought Frank would have, could have possibly won. Frank landed some real good shots on him. At least it looked like it. Tank did say that the reason his eye was very swollen was because of having his guard up and the shots were hitting his hand. I've never heard that excuse before, but it could be true where his palm has been getting, hitting his cheekbone so much it bruised it up because Tank's face might have been the worst I've ever seen it after a fight. Frank Martin got some pop on his shots. He definitely did better than anybody besides Cruz. Who fought a better fight against Tank than other than Frank? The only one you could say is Cruz. Rolly got some good shots, but nothing like Frank did good. Now every time Frank got in the corner, it was almost laughable how nervous he was having his high guard up, which is obviously what you're supposed to do because he's scared of the hook coming. But it was, I've never seen somebody like so tensed up in the corner where he's literally like he's waiting for the shot. And it at one point I thought Tank was laughing at him because you can just see the nervous energy. He was very, very afraid of the power, and for good reason, because look how he got caught. Now fought Tank fought like Canelo. Tank fought exactly how Canelo fights. It's my opinion. All right. When I see Canelo walking down people. He's been doing that for years, right? Canelo doesn't throw a lot of shots. He got his guard up. He's going to walk you down. Okay. He mostly focuses on landing power shots, just like Tank, but Tank was getting hit, especially specifically in the early rounds. Tank was getting hit. And he obviously ate them. He was eating them and they weren't affecting him. And even in the corner, he told his coach that, Frank ain't got nothing. But on the fans' view, Frank was tagging him up. All the judges had Tank up on the scorecards. That's debatable. For the early rounds, for sure, Frank was putting it on him, and that's because in the early rounds, Tank doesn't throw much. He really developed this new. I don't know how new it is because I've never noticed it as much as I did last night, where he was literally just walking you down, walking you down. He wasn't throwing many shots, and that's why he was getting caught. I don't know if he was trying to gas Frank out, trying to get him gassed because of the weight cut, the issues with the weight cut. But whatever it was, Tank showed that he got a chin. He is the IQ getting Frank to certain levels. It's like Tank knows what he's going to do. He's so confident in it's him and Canelo. They have very similar fight styles, and it's a style that's geared towards people who have good power and good defense. Because even though Tank was getting hit, his defense is still very, very good. It's hard for him to get caught flush. Usually his hands are up, but Tank's defense, he showed a lot of good head movement in the fight. He just showed that he's levels above, and he has turned me into like, I was never a hater of Tank. I thought he should have fought Devin. I thought it would have been a very, very, I thought he would have lost against Devin, but seeing him against Frank, I think that Tank beats everybody at 135. Shakur, Loma. I think he beats Loma a lot easier than I originally thought. There's the only way you can beat a Canelo or a Tank is with power. Because I mean, look at Frank. Look at the muscle on him. Dude is built like a football player. He is brick solid. And still, and you're gonna tell me Frank Martin doesn't punch hard? It takes an insane. It has to take knockout power. You can punch hard and not knock people out. I mean, but the way to beat Canelo. I mean, obviously, Bivol beating him without pointing him, that's hard to do. I mean, who's going to do that against Tank? It's going to have to be someone who's bigger than him, longer reach. I don't see Shakur doing it. I see Shakur getting caught. I mean, I don't see Canelo losing against Bivol is different because Canelo went up in weight class. Now, we're not talking about Tank going up and fighting at 140. At 135 at his weight class, there's nobody beating him. I hope he goes for Loma. I saw Coach Kenny on Instagram talking about Angle's Lomas and how they're going to put him to sleep. I think Gervonta knocks him out, Loma out. I think Gervonta stops everybody. His real challenges are going to be moving up in weight. There's nobody at 135 that could stop Tank. And who else is going to, Shakur wants to try. I think Shakur loses I don't see anybody outboxing him. I think Tank is too good at not just the power, but I mean, you're going to get walked down and you're going to get caught. And not Rolly, Pitbull Cruz is the only guy that took his shots, and that was shots from a hurt hand. So that might be, now you might want to, I don't know. Obviously, we want to see Tank versus Shakur and Devin. But if we don't get that next, we want Loma. Originally, you would have never wanted to see the Cruz rematch. But now I would want to watch that fight, especially now with Cruz being a champion at 140. If Tank went up to 140 and fought Cruz, wow. I think that's a fight he wins, and that is now once you're at 140, you got to stay there, right? I mean, you don't have to stay there, but is he going to go for all the belts at 135 and move up to 140, trying to do what Devin did? Who knows? Let's see what happens, because now Floyd's not in his corner. He's running he's his own boss. He's more outspoken. Now he got Leonard Ellerbe following him. So let's see if he really makes these big fights, because that's what we want. That's what we've always wanted. We always wanted the big fights. And Frank was what I would consider a big fight. Undefeated fighter, someone who's very strong, a live underdog. Stopped him. What a good fight. Tank's the man. Still want to see him fight others, but let's see him move to 140. That's all I got for you guys. Catch y'all in the next one. Peace.